everyone. We're back for another Self-Love Sunday segment. Again, I'm Lorena. I'm the founder of Passion and Growth, and this is Bianca and Caroline, my two good friends that have so graciously given me their time and willingness to talk about some hard things. So today we are going to talk about not allowing people to stay in your life who make you feel like you're hard to love. So I can briefly touch on this to kind of get us rolling. I think we actually talked about this a little bit right before we started, but this can easily be relatable, I think, to relationships. I think we have all probably been in like romantic relationships where someone has made us feel like we're hard to love. Like the typical, you do something that's completely rational, but someone tells you like you're crazy, or why did you do that, or you made that up in your head, or all these things that are completely untrue. So there's that aspect of it, but then there's also an aspect I think that can be again related to friendships, family, certain people that still give off that same vibe where you leave the relationship thinking like, what's wrong with me? Like, what did I do wrong? And in reality, it's probably not you at all. So, ladies.
You just mentioned something that made me kind of giggle, because one of my
Oh, because I was stumbling over my words.
No.
I started to introduce and I was like, well, what are we talking about?
What's the topic? One of the things, I don't know if you guys have these things, like a trigger word when you're in an argument that will just set you over the edge. Mine is someone saying you're crazy. And that is because I feel like for women especially, calling a woman crazy is kind of just like undermining whatever she's feeling, whatever she's talking about, and just saying, well, you're crazy.
And
so
that's
on your period.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing you're saying is relevant.
Yes.
Those are the feels. Nothing you're saying is relevant, doesn't matter. Like your
totally
argument
dismisses you.
dismisses you completely. So that whenever somebody brings up you're crazy in an argument, that's just, oh, you're about to see crazy right now.
You thought I was crazy? You're about to see crazy.
Now it's coming out.
Yeah.
So that's, I didn't even think about that as related to this topic until you said it. I was like, oh, so many triggers.
Yeah. Well, and I've dated people before that have said like, and it's made me really hesitant to ever express like my needs or anything, because I've had people be like they just don't understand, or they act like they don't understand. And it's really, I think, just a cop-out to be like, I don't want to give that, so I'm going to make it seem like you're asking for too much or whatever. But it's like, I'm not asking for too, like, if we're going to have a conversation about it, and like I'm telling you these are my needs, like your needs are never too much. It's like, can you meet them or not? If you can't, that's totally fine, then let's break up, whatever. But like, but it's never your fault for saying that. I mean, like, if you're gonna blow up and have an argument, like maybe there's a better way to handle that, but that's a part of like growing and maturing and like realizing that it's not all like emotionally fueled or whatever. But like, it's never your fault to be like, hey, like, I need you to be blah 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 a little bit this way or whatever, because we all have different triggers from our past that like make you who you are and like make you need certain things. So people that aren't willing to understand that, or like they make you feel like it's just completely unreasonable for you to ask that, it's just a waste of your time.
That's totally true.
Yeah, for sure. You said something too that kind of made me think of certain like trigger words, and I think a component of this also is, yes, you express how you feel, just like you said, you can express it and either the person's going to meet you there or they're not, which is kind of a good sign if someone's not willing to meet you with your needs, as long as with expectation, as long as they're reasonable, then maybe this isn't the right relationship with you. But I can kind of attest to this in my relationship right now. I'll bring her on here one day, but her name is Ray, and so we had kind of figured out actually one of my trigger words one day. This is like years into our relationship, and we kind of would joke around. We always have like our kid playing voice, but I would do something like silly or dumb or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, I did something bad, like kind of just like joking around until like she would kind of like say it too, like not meaning anything by it, like she's literally not meaning anything, we're just joking, whatever. But then I kind of realized that like, for whatever reason, for me, that was a trigger word.
Wait,
like,
what was the trigger word?
What do you mean?
Like when she's like, oh, like you're a bad girl, or like this or that, which now that I say it out loud sounds really like dirty and sexual, and that's not how I mean it. But like,
oh, so what's triggering?
Yeah, so hindsight, this is a really bad example. like just something like kind of conversational and just like something
Right.
where it's like, oh, you know, I did something like, let's say I went to the store and bought $3,000 worth of clothes, which whatever, and kind of just being like, oh, like you're a bad girl today, like whatever.
Yeah.
So something like that. But I realize like even like little things like that, like when we're joking, I realize like that is a trigger word for me, and like then it brings me back to this place where somewhere someone in the past like has done that or said that or like, and it brought me to this place where like I feel like I'm a bad person.
Right.
I'm like
Yeah.
hard to love, this and that, which is not at all like our relationship.
Yeah.
But I knew it put me back in this mindset of some other unhealthy relationship once upon a time.
Right.
So we kind of just like kind of cut that out. Like now she just like
Right.
doesn't say that even like joking or whatever because she
Yeah.
realizes now that it's just something that puts me in a different mindset. So
Yeah.
it's
I think that's also interesting too because I feel like with that well no because like with that example like say you go shopping
Side out.
okay guys no but like with that example it's like say you go shopping you spend a lot more money than you were planning on whatever and like at least for me that kind of stuff like I probably initially am gonna feel some kind of guilt towards it and like not specific, like maybe like shopping or like I ate something that was like terrible for me and I ate like a lot of it or something,
Yeah.
or like I drank too much one night or whatever it is that's like really bad for you and like you feel guilty about it afterwards.
Right.
And then like maybe when you were growing up, someone like reprimanded you for doing that and you're like, you're a piece of, and they made you feel just like shitty about it, you know? And so that's definitely a trigger. Whereas it's a whole different relationship because like whoever told you in your past, like they were doing it out of like anger and like misunderstanding. Like they didn't even want, I mean, at least in my situation, it's like they made no effort to understand like why that was happening.
Yeah.
Whereas like in a healthy relationship like you and Ray's, it's like obviously you were joking, but also like if it were actually an issue, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to speak on like her behalf, but like she would probably try to at least make the effort to understand why something was happening,
for
you know?
sure.
So it's like a whole different situation, but it still is triggering because you've had that experience before, where it's like you feel completely misunderstood and like judged, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can relate to you. Sorry, I cut you off. When you were saying earlier, like someone saying you're crazy, because like I was in a relationship like that in the past too, where it's like everything I said or every need I felt like wasn't being fulfilled. Like anytime I tried to express those, it was just like, oh, like you're asking for too much, or like all these things, and I'm like, so you start to believe, like, am I? Like, am I asking for too much? Like, is it too much to just like feel loved?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like so then you start to believe that, okay, well, I'm never going to have that. So like, I think that's again where like,
Yeah.
and I think that's again where standards start to drop, and like you then start to realize, well, like, you know, I've tried to express my needs in the past, they were shot down.
Right.
So like now, like, what's the point? Like, I'm just gonna like go out, I'm gonna have fun. Like, who knows if I'm ever gonna end up in a meaningful relationship? Because the last time I tried, or the last several times I tried, like, it just didn't end up in my favor. And you start going out and looking for validation from people in all the wrong ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then you take whatever, like this was totally me in college. It was like I would date whoever, and like they would be, I guess it depends whoever I was dating, but like they would be like semi decent to me. So I'd be like, oh, like this is
They're
great.
so sweet.
Yeah,
Right.
and like
Or
the
anybody that
littlest
shows
things.
the attention, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah, and like the littlest things, and you're just like, oh, he's so nice, he's so thoughtful, but it's like, no.
It's a normal
Like,
person.
like you're
not
being
extra.
a decent human. Like that's minimum.
Like the bare minimum you've hit, but like when
Yeah.
you're dealing with people that it's like they've treated you completely under the bare minimum, like you find someone that just hits the surface, and you're like, cool, like this is amazing. Like I've never had this before.
Right.
And it's,
Well, and that happens with friendships too.
yeah.
Like that's
Definitely.
totally like my friendships in college. I feel like not like my good friends, but like just casual people that I would hang out with or whatever. It was just like much more superficial, you know, and like once you meet your good friends and like you hang out with them, and like I feel like meeting friends after college, because it's a little bit harder meeting friends after college.
Yeah.
But like,
It's a whole,
you know, like
That's
meeting
hard.
you guys and then like talking about shit like this, it's like I feel like my casual friends in college, like we would have never.
Not
And
really,
like it
yes.
was
Right.
just like whenever you're hanging out with, or at least for me, like whenever I was hanging out with them, I felt like I had to put on like a certain
Facade.
personality. Yeah, and it's just like, oh, this is, and like you go home, you're like, oh, I feel kind of like not good. It's
Yeah.
just like you're not yourself.
But are you friends with any of those people anymore?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not
at all.
Yeah.
So it lasted for like maybe a semester. And I was like, yeah, that's not for me.
I'm a different person this semester.
Yeah.
What happened?
Sadie.
Sadie about knocked our camera here off. A professional camera.
Sadie, come here.
Is that thunder?
No, someone's rolling around upstairs. Sorry, we got
Oh my God.
squirrel. We got sidetracked.
Oh goodness.
Any other final thoughts on? I guess too. I think we talked a lot about like relationships and friendships, and family though can play a big part in this. Sorry, my dog thinks it's thundering and it's whining. But family, I think sometimes can do this. Like you'll have certain family members that make you just feel like no matter what you do, like isn't good enough or worth enough, or because you don't look a certain way, you're not worthy of being loved, or because you haven't done the appropriate education that they think you should do, or like all these things that they have set for you, you don't meet those expectations, and so they then start to make you feel like, well, you're not living up to like their expectation,
Well,
and
it's
like
really
you're not
like
loved.
it's really
and-
like what they want you to do with your life,
Right.
anyways.
What they
so
had
it's like,
pictured for you,
yeah.
right?
So it's not even like what's best for you.
Or what
It's
you
like this is
yeah.
what I wanted you to be, and
Right.
you're not doing that. So you're not really looking to. It's like okay, fuck you, anyways. Like,
Yep.
are we allowed to cut some of this? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no, okay.
Okay.
I don't think kids are watching this. I don't know if there are, then maybe put earmuffs on the kids.
Oh, don't do drugs.
Don't stay in school, I don't know.
Stay in school.
Know your
but
worth.
Know your worth.
I'm glad that you brought that in though, because I feel like also family is like obviously like you grow up with it, and so it's like ingrained in your brain before you even realize that it is. So it sets the standard for like your friendships and also your relationships. So it's
Right.
like such a foundation that like if you either have like a bad relationship with your family or like medium and like you don't really realize, or like if it's good then that's great, but it totally like sets the stage for like your future. So it's obviously like
Like if you don't get your tank filled with love, like at home, then when you leave that nest, like you're then going to try to
Looking
find
for that,
it,
right.
yeah, in
Totally.
all of probably the wrong places.
Right.
yep,
definitely.
yep, and then you accept stuff that's not so good.
Yeah. But it's just realizing that and just trying to work through that and find something better, you know, because you don't really know you're there until you make poor decisions, or, you know, someone points out to you like, hey, are you doing okay? So I think it's just, even if you're there right now, you can get out of that, and you can find great people to be around. Because I mean, we can talk about when we moved to Austin initially. Like, I didn't know anybody, and it was really hard and difficult, and you know, I had people telling me that I had maybe made the wrong decision. So it's really about finding a good group that you can vent to, and you can talk through certain things with, but that will always elevate you. Like, you don't want to be around people like what we initially started talking about that bring you down. You just want to cut those people out and just move forward, even if it hurts at first. You have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
totally.
100% agree with that. All right.
That's a wrap. We can't
Killing it. You just like you summed that up, put a nice bow on it. Like there's nothing else to say.
There's my thesis.
Drop the
Going into
mic.
the tree. There we go.
All right. Well, thank y'all for joining in with us on another Self Love Sunday. We also are open to any questions that you guys have.
Yes.
So
feedback.
yes, we love feedback, love questions. We're willing to talk about anything really.
Right.
We're not holding back. So if you have any suggestions on topics that we should talk about, then be sure just to submit them, and we'll answer them live. So you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.